My daughter has requested a Christmas garland for her room, so today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute Christmas tree garland that you can put on your mantle or in your children's room or on your windows or doors. So the materials you'll need to get started is, I found these at the dollar store. They're 8-piece ornaments trees. I had some scrap green paper, and what I did was I did 4 like dark green with a little bit of white pattern, and then 4 that are more of a white with the green in the background. So it gave me a nice variety. I did 8 different sheets. Brown paper for the trunk and a gold sparkle paper for the stars, and then some twine, pencil, a Sharpie, a glue stick, a hot glue gun, a hole punch, your scissors, and then I picked these up as well at the dollar store, the pom-poms, and I also picked these up at the dollar store. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is take one of your tree ornaments, and you're going to use this as your stencil. And you're going to take your paper, and on the back you're going to stencil the tree. And when you stencil the tree, you're just going to trace around as far up as you can go and trace to the trunk. And then when you take that off, then all I did was filled in the bottom and then just carried my point to the top because the star covers that area. So I just connected it so that it made a full tree. And then you're going to cut those out. The same thing with the trunk. I just took the trunk of the tree, and you're basically just going to trace that as well on your paper, like so. And then you're going to cut that out. And I cut just a little bit above so that when I glue it down, it's going underneath the tree paper. And then your star, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put your star down and you're going to trace your star out, trace around, and make sure that you trace the circle in the center because you're going to punch that out. And so you'll see that the star at the bottom doesn't come together, so I just draw that so that it makes a complete star. So you're going to go ahead and cut all of those out. So then the next step you're going to do is take your Sharpie marker, and I just trace, just outline the trees, and I also outline the trunks. The star I do not outline because it is a glitter paper, and glitter paper doesn't really trace very well with a Sharpie. But if you decided to use like a plain paper, you could trace that as well. So the next step is to take your glue stick. The first thing you're going to glue down is your trunk. And like I said, I cut my trunks a little bit above so that it is covered when you put your paper down. So the next part you're going to glue down is the actual tree part. And then the last part that you're going to glue down is the star. And make sure you've punched a hole in the star so that you can run your string through it. So your next step is to measure out your twine. So you're going to want a piece of twine, measure where you're going to hang it, whether it be on a mantle or on a door or on a window. So I've measured out my piece. And then you're going to use the little twines that came with the trees. And you can, I've shown this in past videos, you can tape the end so it doesn't unravel. But what I do is I just cut a little bit off so that it's firm, and I just very gently, quickly go through the piece, and then I'm going to go back through, and when I go back through, hold this down so that you have plenty of room, and just go back through. You only get one shot at this. If you fiddle around too much, it will untwine on you, but usually if you trim it before you start that, it'll work going through. And so you leave that loop. Then what you want to do is take your piece of string, and you just want to, you can loop it like as you're going, but I find it's easier just to keep the loop and then put the tree onto the piece of string. I've already tied it on the one end, and then I'm just going to position this where I want it on your string. So once you have it where you think you're going to want it, then all you do is pull the string tight so it goes through there. And then I don't even tie a knot, I just put a bow through and then just pull the bow tight. And then you're going to do that with your next tree. And I did like dark, light, dark, or light, dark, light. I just made it every other one. So depending, this one garland, the garland I showed you in the beginning has 8. That's like a full length garland. This one I'm doing for my windows, so I'm only putting 3 on this one. But the one on the 8, I did dark, light, rotated the patterns all the way through. And then you're gonna add your next one. And the nice thing about this technique, which I've said before, is you can move these. These aren't stationary, they are adjustable. So once you actually hang them up, you can always adjust them to position them so that they're where you want them on your window or on your mantle, which is really nice. So as you noticed, as I was putting this on, 2 of my trees had the gems, 1 of them didn't. You can do little pom-poms, you can do sequins, anything you want. I had found these at the dollar store, and I thought that they were really nice variety. So all I'm doing is just sticking them on. They're already sticky, and I'm just putting a variety of them on the tree. Different sizes. They have different sizes, so I use the different sizes and just stick them on like that. So I put a loop on the other end, and for this it's going to be important that you position your trees where you want them, because we're going to be gluing pom-poms. And so hang it up where you want it. Make sure that it's the right length, because we're going to glue pom-poms on here, and so it won't be as adjustable once you do that. And how I make sure it's even is I put my loops together, and I make sure my trees line up, that this one's exactly in center and that these 2 are lined up, so I know that I have them in the right position. Okay, so next step is you're going to find the center between your 2 trees. You're going to determine which pom-poms you're going to use in what sequence, and start with the center one. And I work on wax paper, because some of the hot glue will go onto the wax paper, but once you stick it down, if you move it right away, it won't stick. So you just put a small dab of hot glue onto your pom-pom, and then stick your pom-pom right in the center, and then like I just move it, so I make sure it doesn't permanently stick to that. And then work your way out, so the next ones will be your small ones, and then my medium, and then my small. So I also made smaller garlands that I'm putting on my windows because I like them so much. The one thing I did want to point out to you is, if you cannot find the wooden trees in your dollar store, you can just as easily go online, look at an image of a tree that you like, print it out, use that as a template, and use cardboard as your backing. and that would work just as well as the wooden ornaments that I found. So if this is your first time watching, welcome, and please don't forget to subscribe. If you want to receive future notification of posts, hit the bell, and if you liked our video, please give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.